Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Moelbert, and for this thematic program, I am going to be presenting to you my virtual summer reading kickoff. I did this in collaboration with the Hamburg Middle School librarian, who happens to be my mother, which was, kind of convenient, but it was great. So essentially, what my thematic program is going to be is sort of a kickoff for the middle schoolers for their summer reading. Almost every school in the Western New York district requires some sort of summer reading assignment to be done throughout the summer. And for Hamburg, they've always had the same set rules and regulations. So this summer, I decided to work with the librarian to come together and create kind of a virtual related, because of COVID, obviously, scavenger hunt that will allow the kids to go into their local libraries and to find their own summer reading books. So what Mrs. Moelbert and I are going to do is we are going to give a little bit of a discussion after this introduction regarding a couple titles that we actually have here with us that are great for summer reading options. We're going to give short little book talks as to what each book is about, and it's kind of going to get the students excited and ready for summer reading. I will be going over the summer reading requirements a little bit deeper, but essentially the students are allowed to pick their own 2 books, and from those 2 books they have to complete 2 assignments. They've got 5 options to choose from. I go into depth as to what they are in the PowerPoint that I have. And luckily, Mrs. Moelbert has a lot of book knowledge, so she knows a lot of the books that we're going to talk about. And she's going to be giving brief descriptions, a little bit of the plot, and it's just kind of getting the kids excited and educated as to what their options are. Obviously, out of the, I think, 13 options that we have, there are numerous amounts of options, and I'm actually going to list a few at the end of the PowerPoint, but specifically we talk about the 13 books that we have in our house right now, along with a couple other titles that we just really, really like and think they are such great options for summer reading. So essentially with this program, what the students will do is they would be given this video as to how we collaborated together, and they would have access to links through the library website, links that I'm going to create, and other resources that have their summer reading options accessible to them. There's also a free ebooks link on the Hamburg Middle School website that they will be able to use if they would like to check any books out themselves that aren't actually on their library shelves. So the way that the Western New York Hamburg district works is that they have students located in Boston, Hamburg, and even some in Orchard Park. And me, like myself, as a Hamburg graduate, I actually am from the Springville area. So we are all over the place, and that kind of helps because there are 3 local libraries in those areas where students can go and find the books that they need. There's a library in Boston, there's a library in Hamburg, and there's also a library in Orchard Park, and they all are free access with a library card, obviously, and they are almost all walking distance for a lot of the students, and if they aren't walking distance, then Mrs. Moelbert is willing to help them by helping them find a couple books, whether it's mailing it to them, going and dropping it off in their mailbox, or having it checked out at the library waiting for them to pick up. So essentially in this introduction, I'm just going over what this program is, and then in the next segment, it's going to be introducing Mrs. Moelbert, and we're going to be just talking about our slideshow that we would give to the students. We're going to be talking about a couple of the books, we're going to be giving brief little descriptions, and you're going to get to meet Mrs. Moelbert herself. At the very end of our segment, we're going to focus on a specific book that I'm going to actually branch off and talk to a student with. The student's actually my sister, who is in middle school, which is actually another convenience, but it all kind of fell into place, and COVID really created a lot of issues. But at the very end of this, I'm going to have a little book talk about one specific book with my 13-year-old sister, and she's going to give some great insight to other students who would be watching this presentation. So, introducing Mrs. Moelbert.